And welcome to episode 6 of the Box Nostalgia Podcast with PoNGa and Beerski. What's going on, PoNGa?
Hey, I like that. You said my name first.
I always say your name first.
Yeah, well, that's just how it should be. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, man. It was hot out today at work. I got a little color, as you can see. So maybe some suntan lotion tomorrow, but it's going to be much cooler, which is good.
No, you got to burn to be darker. You know what I mean? Got to get a little tan
Gotta
going.
get that base going.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
burn
what.
early and then you're good for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, we'll see about that. It's a lot of outdoor time. How was your day today?
Not too bad. Just got home from work a little bit ago. Excited to record and have some hot takes possibly.
Oh, I like the hot takes, man. All right. Well, then we will hop. We'll hop into it. First segment, as always, is item of the week. What do we have for the item of the week this week, PoNGa?
Typical PoNGa fashion. I say that every episode, but another sealed item. This one's a Japanese sealed item that I actually kind of forgot I even owned. So it's the Nessa Pokemon Gym box. So it came out with the release of Shiny Star V. So it actually has 2 boxes of Shiny Star V, some Nessa sleeves, the deck box, and then the coin.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it came with
Yeah,
actual booster boxes.
yeah, and the cool thing about this is it's the first print Shiny Star V boxes. So it has that little like logo on it on the front of the box uh, to tell you it's the first print. So that's pretty cool as well. And then actually, if you like stack 2 of them, you could like complete the whole picture,
Oh,
right?
right on.
Yeah, so it's a really cool box. Like I said, forgot I kind of owned it, but I'm packing up my stuff right now because I'm in the middle of a move and found it on the shelf behind me and was like, oh, well, that's definitely a cool item to show off. So
Score right on, man. For my item of the week, I have the Harry Potter TCG Quidditch Cup booster box. It's the second set in the Harry Potter TCG, released in November 2001. When I got back into the hobby, this is the box I ripped. I bought one. I think I got it for like 120 bucks off of eBay, which wasn't too bad at the time. Had a good time ripping it. Pulled a Fred and George Ghost, Hollow, McGonagall Ghost Hollow, Seamus Finnegan Ghost Hollow. So it's actually a pretty cool set. I really do like the Harry Potter TCG stuff. Was made by Wizards of the Coast. It was a short-lived TCG though, but yeah, just wanted to share that with everyone today. Like I said, the Harry Potter trading card game, Quidditch Cup. Other, some other Harry Potter news real quick too. They're actually redoing all of the books on tape with 100 live, like not 100 live actors, but 100 actors doing voices. So they're going to re-record everything. So it's going to be like really cool and immersive. And I'm really looking forward to that. So that's kind of why I picked that item this week. But
I didn't even, yeah, news to me. I didn't know that. That'd be really cool.
yeah, so that'll be the third time they've done books on tape for that. They did one with Jim Dale, which is the U.S. versions, and then Stephen Fry, which is the UK versions. And then now they're doing another one. They're also doing a new HBO series. So just Harry Potter world's always shaking and moving. So, but
Finally, an item that you showed that I have at one point owned. So I owned
nice.
a few of those boxes. I think I sold it in the past couple of months or something like that. But I think I have a sealed case of one of the Harry Potter sets. I don't even know which one it is, but I Hills Wholesale, baby, got
It's
all the
probably it's
deals on here.
probably Quidditch Cup because I know
Yeah,
they
no,
had
it's
a
Quidditch Cup or what's the other cheap one? I don't know. I
Diagon
don't.
Alley.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Chamber of Secrets is the most expensive one. That was like the short printed set. Okay, so that's our item of the weeks, everyone. So quick little new segment this week. Every other week I want to start doing this as well. We're gonna do a little this day in history. So every other week I'm gonna look through, see what happened during the day we record, either video game or Pokemon or anything other nostalgic wise. And this week, actually today, on this day in 1999, 25 years ago, Pokemon Stadium released. It was known as Pokemon Stadium 2 in Japan. We've talked about Pokemon Stadium on this podcast before. Love that game. The mini games were some of my favorite mini games of all time. I kind of like wish that game would be like re-released on the Switch or something like that to be able to play those mini games again. But yeah, just a little tidbit about this day in history, man. Like I said, Pokemon Stadium 25 years ago today, which is wild to think about. I
Pokemon
was 10.
Stadium's definitely like a top 5 to 10 N64 game for sure, and maybe like top 5 to 10 games of my childhood. That and Pokemon Stadium 2 were like some of my most played games when I was a kid.
Well, it was so awesome being able to transfer your characters into the Pokemon Stadium. That was the coolest. Like that was one of the cool things about that game. I love doing that, and the animations for the time were, I mean, cutting edge. So stuff looked great. It was awesome seeing a Charizard on screen fighting a Blastoise and a Venusaur, like just awesome. So, and that takes
definitely, like you said, like now that I think about it, like the way the battling was, and when you compare that to like the Game Boy Pokemon games, is just so different. And
so different,
so much better looking, right? Like,
yeah.
I think the newer Pokemon games now you kind of have that like 3D view of the Pokemon and it kind of pans around. But back then that was pretty, like you said, cutting edge. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely a great time with that game. Many hours put into it. We got our tier list this week. It's going to be EX era sets. So I'm gonna let PoNGa take this away.
You want me to start?
I want PoNGa to start the EX era.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a little bit before we started. I feel like this is really hard to rank some of these sets, and I feel like we've said that the past couple episodes, but I do have this set list of every single set pulled up. So as we nominate,
I do as well.
As we mention a set, I'm going to be looking at the set list so I could kind of properly rate it as best I can. So I think I'm going to start with EX Ruby and Sapphire, which, if I recall, might be one of my least favorite of the EX era sets. So this is like the first set that Pokemon, when they took over from Wizards of the Coast. So yeah, just looking back at the set, maybe it's not as bad as I remembered it. So it's got the Lapras EX, Magmar, Mewtwo. But besides that, let me see the Hollows. Blaziken. Chansey EX.
I mean, Chansey EX, I feel like a lot of the arts in here are a little mid.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of Skyridge being the last set before that. And we talked about those sets and like how like S tier the arts in those sets were and like how great they were.
Yeah.
I also needed to say this now because I'm looking at the Pokemon and these cards. The artist Hikaru Koike. I don't know if I'm saying it right, dude. I don't know. These are probably some of my least favorite arts in the whole hobby. I don't like they look shadowed and just looks. I don't know what he was trying to hide. It doesn't do it for me. I know that might hurt a lot of people's feelings. I'm sorry about that. But looking through these cards and these sets and seeing, you can tell instantly when it's done by him. And it just, these cards just put me off so much. So like, I'm looking at the Lapras EX right now.
Yeah, that Lapras is not good.
It's not good, man. The Electabuzz looks terrible. Like I'm not.
So it's one of those sets where I like the Pokemon in the set, but I don't necessarily. I'm a huge fan of EX cards. I really like the hollow borders, and I think they're pretty unique. And I'm looking at them. I think maybe the Chansey's my favorite. I don't even like the Mewtwo that much. I think I'm gonna have to put this set in D. This is a D for me.
I'm gonna take a quick look again. The Gardevoir Hollow is beautiful. I do love that. I also want to point out that they're still using the E series card boxes and everything at the beginning of EX. And I'll point out a little later when that switches over. So still E series stuff, which I love. But like I said,
I don't like just the bottom strip though.
Compared to no, and you know what? And I don't like just the bottom strip. It was nice having the strip on the side, and I like the offset box art on the original E series cards. But I do like that it's still part of it. It's almost like it just carried over because Nintendo had just taken it over from Wizards. Excuse me, but I'm gonna have to probably agree with you here, PoNGa. Like I said, the EXs that they have, like I think my favorite one out of all of them is probably the Scyther. The Hitmonchan would probably be a close second. It's the most badass looking Hitmonchan card I've seen. So I think we could stick Ruby and Sapphire down in D, especially coming off the heels of Skyridge. That's you know what I mean. I don't know. It seems to be a common thread where the first set is always not the best one, coming off of like the heels of what was before it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I will say I do like how they added the EX cards. I think it was a good idea, but it doesn't do it for me.
Okay. I'm going to pick Delta Species. All right. So I'm going to just say that I love Ditto. I think Ditto's my favorite Pokemon. Something always about Ditto, him being able to transform in other Pokemon, the silly face he gives those other Pokemon. I love it. This set has a Ditto line. Bulbasaur, Charmander, Mr. Mime, Pikachu, and Squirtle. Mr. Mime always cracks me up because it's just such an odd one to put there. But, it's got a Flareon Delta species, Espeon Delta species, Jolteon Delta species, Mewtwo Delta species. Like the cards, a Rayquaza. This set slaps a little bit. Its gold stars aren't the best, Groudon, Kyogre, and Metagross, but it does have Flareon EX, Jolteon EX, and Vaporeon EX, which are all pretty good cards, except the Vaporeon is done by the artist that I'm not a big fan of. So that kind of ruins it for me a little bit. But other than that, like I really do enjoy this set. I think the cards that are in are nice. You got a lot of fan favorite Pokemon. The Dragonite Delta species is a pretty cool card. He's flying. So I'd probably rank this as like a oh man, it's got an Umbreon too, a Tyranitar. Like this set hits. I'd like to give this just from Dittos. Like I think I'm gonna give this an A. Like I like Delta Species. I think this is a fun set. I just picked up a Delta Species reverse holo. So I'm really feeling this set right now.
Oh, A. Okay. I will say I like the Dragonite. I don't really like the Espeon. The Umbreon looks kind of boring as well. The Rayquaza is pretty cool. I think Kyogre and Groudon Gold Stars are maybe the two worst Gold Stars or close to it. I really, really like the Metagross Gold Star, probably because I just really like the shiny. And I think the Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon EXs could have been a little better. They're not bad, though. I actually kind of like them. Mewtwo's mid. I don't know. I'm not a big Delta species fan. I just need a look. Okay. And I also like the reverse isn't my favorite. I think I'm going to put it in C.
Okay. That's fair enough. Like I said, it's A for me. I'm a big Ditto guy. So
yeah, it's not a bad set at all.
Just seeing all the Dittos, Geodude Ditto. It's just I'm a big fan of it all. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the Dittos. I feel like they're just kind of bland, like the backgrounds, and I know that's probably the point.
Yeah, it's almost like that claymation style. Yeah. Like that's how I think so. It's supposed to almost look claymation. So like not the I don't know. I like Ditto. I'm a big fan of it, so I'm sticking with A. So we can put it in B.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Don't stick anything on me like that. How are you doing?
I tried to get one past you a little bit.
All right. Moving on. Woo. It's steamy in Jersey today, let me tell you.
Oh, all I hear you doing is crying. All right, I'm going to do EX Sandstorm. So let me remind myself how mid this set is. Okay. Oh, boy, this one's pretty brutal. I like the Arcanine.
The best EX.
Flareon and Jolteon are pretty nice.
Yeah, the Flareon and Jolteon are nice. I'll
The
give you that.
Vaporeon I really like a lot. The Umbreon, once again, is not my favorite. Am I just discovering this, that Umbreon has a lot of mid arts? Am I going to get canceled for that?
You might get canceled for that.
Yeah,
The Espeon's pretty cool. I like
you're
the
the one who
Espeon.
bashed an artist and said he had no talent earlier. So
Well,
you said it, not me.
Well, the Aerodactyl EX, the Argon
The
EX,
Aerodactyl and Aggron are terrible.
are terrible. The Typhlosion EX, it's trash, dude. This absolute
Kabutops is awful. Kabutops might be the worst one.
Trash cards. This
Even
is
though
the Raichu EX is probably the best card.
Kabutops does look kind of mean though.
I think that's all right. The Kabutops is all right. The Gardevoir is not the best. I don't know. Yeah, the EXs in this aren't great. The Whale Lord is mid too.
This has got to be the worst set, isn't it?
I'm feeling like it's not a great set, man. Like even the Pokemon that are being like featured, the Hollows are just not that great. The Sableye is a cool card. I do like that Sableye, but
I like the Raichu and Gardevoir, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's got 100 cards in the set. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna let you grade this one first.
I feel like it's worse than EX Ruby Sapphire, but I don't know. The Typhlosion's terrible too. Oh,
dude,
man.
The Typhlosion's so trash. Like the amount of cards done by that artist will bring down the grade for me because
I don't know. People say they hate Prime cards, but some of these EXs are way worse than Prime cards. They're like zoomed up versions plus the shadow. You don't even see the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's not good, and the backgrounds aren't great either. Like I don't know. Just
I don't think it deserves to be Y tier, but I also can't put it on the same tier as Ruby Sapphire. So I'm gonna put it in Y.
All right. So now I'll save it for you. I'll put it on D tier, and then we can put it in between because it's not a great set. It's definitely not a great set.
It probably deserves D, but it's not better than Ruby Sapphire. Maybe I'll change Ruby Sapphire to be one tier up later when we go through a couple more. But
you feel a little better about life.
Yeah, that's. I will say I really like the packs of Sandstorm. I think they look really cool, but yeah, just not my favorite Pokemon.
I gotcha. Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, like you said, not doing it for me much either.
I can't believe you're gonna get canceled now for hating artists.
I don't hate art. I dislike one artist's take on Pokemon. I think he probably is a better artist.
I heard you say he has no talent. That's what I heard.
I didn't say no.
That's what I heard.
All right, well, guess listen, he could draw better than me, but that's not saying much. We'll leave it at that. Let's throw Power Keepers up there.
Power Keepers.
So this is the final set in the EX era. It's the last set to feature EX and Gold Star, obviously, until the EX came back. But so yeah, it was a short-lived. The Gold stars were short-lived. But this set, it's got a nice Charizard Hollow. I'm actually a big fan of that. He's staring up at the moon. It's a cool Raichu we got there as well. I'm a big fan of that card.
Look at the Ninetales.
Let's see, where are you, Ninetales? Oh yeah, dude, that Ninetales is dope.
Is that really... Ninetales' best art?
I mean, I like that sketch style that it's got there. Like that's pretty fire card.
I might need to buy that.
You might have to. Going down, obviously, the Gold Stars, Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, all great Gold Stars.
So you like those? You're a big fan of those?
I'm not going to say like a huge fan, but I
like the Vaporeon.
They're good looking cards. Like I think they all have, they're all done by the same artist, so they still all have like the same aesthetic. The Vaporeon's nice. I'd probably say out of all of them, the Flareon's probably my favorite one. But they're like the EX cards for this set are like the Pokemon are terrible. I'm not a big fan of all of that. So between the Charizard and the Gold Stars, I think that's probably, and the Ninetales, it's probably the best this set has to offer. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just an all-around kind of mid set. I'd probably give this set like a Oh man, I think I'll give this set a C because I think that the evolutions save it.
I like the Salamence. Not a great Pokemon. Probably one of my least favorite Pokemon, but the Claydol. I just like the background color. I think that looks really nice. But yeah, the rest of the EXs are not very good. And I really like
No.
Metagross, but that's not a good art, in my opinion.
It looks
And
very similar to the stance or position that he has for his gold star too.
yeah, but I like the Gold Star a little more because like the arm, like his arms, like kind of more. I don't know, like more down. I guess.
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
It just
gotcha. More like trying to dig in.
yeah. Like this one kind of makes it look like blurry. I don't know. Yeah, I think C is probably about where I would put it as well.
All right. Look at us. We're hitting all the spots on the board right now.
Yeah, look at all these mid EX sets.
Shout
People
out
like
Professor Birch, by the way. There's a Professor Birch card in here. Right on, right on. Oh shit. I just dropped my phone on the ground. Sorry.
This guy's ruining our podcast. Okay.
Jeez. All right, that's four or 16 sets done, everyone.
All right, let's do some heat.
Okay.
All right, Fire Red Leaf Green. Man, hot take. Is this a better version of 151? Pokemon 151?
It's a better version of Pokemon 151. For sure. I would agree with you on that 100%.
Not the biggest fan of reverse hollows, but the reverse pattern in this set is very, very good. I really like one of Gengar's best arts. Maybe it's best. I love this Gengar EX. One of my favorite cards. I really like the Venusaur EX. The Charizard is pretty good. The Blastoise is kind of mid. The Gyarados is just all right. And
The
then
Blastoise is mid because it's done by that terrible artist. I'm sorry, man.
I really like the Cracked Ice Legendary Birds, though.
Yes. Yeah, we talked
just
about that earlier.
Another unique touch. Now, obviously, the one downside to this says it doesn't have gold stars compared to some of the other ones, but I don't really think it needs them. But then it's got the Charmander as well in there. Man. I even like some of the normal rares, like the Kangaskhan I like, the Raichu I like, the Snorlax I like.
I mean, the Pidgeot is a great card.
Yeah, Pidgeot.
I think that might be one of Tauros's. Never mind. Tauros got a really weird face here. I take that back. My goodness.
Where's Tauros? What number is Tauros?
Tauros is 16. So for all the Komiya out there, there's a lot of Komiya in here too. Shout out
Mertz.
Yeah.
The Bulbasaur is nice.
Yeah, we got that.
I don't really know what the Weeping Bell's doing there. We won't talk on that one. Number 51.
Let's see. Weeping Bell number 51. Oh yeah, geez. I think it's another Komiya. Yep, it's another Komiya. Like I said, there are tons of Komiya in here. Bellsprout.
Is it weird that I really like the Clefable EX?
The Clefable EX. Let's go down.
Number 106.
I actually like the swirl in the back, almost like he's doing metronome, which is pretty cool. Like and that's his. There you go. That's his move there. It's metronome. So yeah, it's pretty cool. The hollow borders are dope.
This is tough. I love this set so much, but it doesn't have gold stars.
I will say the Mexican hipster corrected me. This is the set where the Nirvana Squirtle is in. There's actually quite a few cool cards like that. The Bulbasaur done by Nishida is beautiful. He's reaching for the gold apple. This set has some pretty awesome arts in it. So I'm gonna shout out someone else, Ernie Nishida. There you go. I know you're a big fan of that.
He's probably yawning in the chat right now.
Oh, definitely yawning in the chat, but that's okay.
I like the Electrode too, man.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a better 151 than 151 is, and it was, it released in 2004. So
I think I'm gonna put it in A.
Oh, Butterfree too, Nishida. Yeah, I agree with you. This is an A tier set. I think it's doing all the right things. it's doing all the right things for me. Yeah, the Chansey's crazy looking too. So yeah, a nice A tier. But yeah, done well. Definitely done very well.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Let's go. Let's go EX Deoxys.
Oof.
All right. So off the rip, number 8 Gyarados is a pretty awesome Gyarados. I do like, for whatever reason, any Gyarados where he just looks pissed off and staring at you directly is a badass card. I'm also a big fan of the Jirachi and the art style on the
Jirachi's
Jirachi.
fire.
Fire card. There's some more Komiya in here. Seems like Komiya was kind of hitting his stride here a little bit through these sets. Scrolling down. Let's see. All right, so we got Rayquaza EX, which I'm a big fan of that card. I do like it. And then the Rayquaza Gold Star, man. I think this is my favorite Gold Star. I've seen one of these in person. What was it? Was it a black label or it was a PSA 9? It was a PSA 9 Rayquaza Gold Star. I saw it at the Woodbridge card show by me a couple months ago. I love it. I love how big he is. I love the background of it. I think it's a very great card. It also has a secret Rockets Ryoku.
How'd you say that?
I'm sorry, Ryoku.
Oh,
Listen.
woo!
Yeah, saved it.
Raikou.
Raikou.
That's how I say it.
Yeah. But yeah. So
do you like the Latias and Latios? I think I said that Groudon and Kyogre are the worst Gold Stars, but I think these two might.
You're taking it back now.
Yeah, I like the Kyogre Gold Star. I don't like the Groudon as much, but like when you compare it to the Rayquaza, I don't even think it's comparable. I don't really like them all that much.
I mean, when you have the Rayquaza next to it, definitely not. I mean, it's a big change. Like it's Rayquaza.
How do you feel about
the problem with Latios and Latias is that a lot of their cards look exactly the same. Like the arts are all them just flying, smiling, staring at the camera. Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? That's like all their art. So it really, and they're just different colored here. So it's really, I would like to see them like locked in battle or something, or maybe like have a dual card where they're like fighting something else. Like that would be cool. But it just doesn't seem like it's gone there. And then here we go. We have this terrible Salamence and this terrible Sharpedo EX. Again, that art, just like I can't get over it. It's really killing me.
How do you feel about Deoxys as a Pokemon?
It's a weird Pokemon, man. It's definitely weird. Like I don't have any negative feelings or positive feelings towards it.
It's
like
kind of mid.
Yeah, I felt it was thrown out there. It was like I guess big for that era. I've never had him on my teams in any of the games I've played. I've never done anything with them. I did just pick up a reverse holo though, Deoxys. So just the other day at the Woodbridge card show. But
I feel like a lot of these cards would look better in person rather than on my screen, but
yeah, I mean this set's not the best. Like I said, I think the Gyarados and Jirachi are the best. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna give this one a C. Just because I think the Rayquaza saves it. But
do you like the Crobat EX?
Crobat EX.
Number 96.
Looking at it. Background's cool. Really don't like the Pokemon.
Okay. See, I like Crobat.
Yeah, I don't know. The lines aren't.
C.
Yeah, I'm throwing this in the C tier.
I might have to be in C with you. Manectric, Sharpedo. I'm not a huge Deoxys fan. The Rayquaza is pretty nice. Both Rayquazas are pretty nice. The Raikou's pretty nice. The Jirachi is nice. The Gyarados is nice, but I don't know. I'm between C and B, but I'm gonna put it in C for now and see what I feel and when I look at the other sets.
Right on.
All right. What do I want to do next? Dragon Frontiers. All right. Let me see this. Another one of those Delta species, bunch of Delta species to open up the set. Once
Tons
again,
of Delta species.
Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of them. Like something about like Feraligatr being like a yellow card. I love Feraligatr, one of my favorite Pokemon, probably my favorite starter line. I just don't. I like the Nidoqueen. I always like Nidoqueen cards for whatever reason.
I mean, it's got some heat down at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, I was just going. I like Altaria as a Pokemon a lot.
Dragonite, yeah, I think Altaria is a big fan favorite.
Yeah. Dragonite's pretty nice. Not my favorite Dragonite art. Tyranitar's okay.
Again, Latias and Latios looking pretty much the same.
The Salamence have a EX in every single set.
He's all over the place, man.
Rayquaza and Salamence, right?
Yeah, this is the second or maybe third set in a row where we have a Rayquaza EX Delta species.
I need to look at this Rayquaza up close. Why does he look so derpy?
Because he's freaking electrocuted, man. He's not doing great. Things aren't making sense for him.
Supposed to look like an electric eel or something?
I don't know. This is probably one of the worst Rayquaza arts that we've seen so far in the EX block. But you know, Charizard Gold Star, Mew Gold Star. I'm a big fan of the Mew. They're also Delta species cards, though. So no, you're not the biggest fan of that. But the Dark Charizard.
I like Blue Mew, but it's just like an okay Gold Star for me. That might be a hot take.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just not a huge fan of Gold Stars. Maybe I'm just finding this out.
Yeah, you don't seem to be. The
problem is
the Gold
Stars look so much better in person. Like I have one up on the wall that I'm looking at. It's just seeing them in person, they look so much better. So I also like what was it? Is it Power Keeper's Charizard? I like that better than the Gold Star Charizard too, which might be another hot take.
Just the regular hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where he's staring at the moon.
Oh man, go ahead. I don't know what I want to rate it.
Okay. So I mean, dude, Gold Star Charizard. That's a great Gold Star. I am a big fan of the Mew as well. But that being said, most of the rest of the set is kind of mid.
I like the Ninetales.
No, I just clicked on the Ninetales. I like the Ninetales as well. Very similar artwork to the other one that you liked as well. But the set, other than those two, Gold Stars, really doesn't do much for me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and place this one in. Oh man,
how far can Charizard elevate it?
Oh, he can't elevate that far. We all know I'm the biggest Charizard fan. He can. I'm going to say in between C and D. Like
I think it's C for me.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna say D, and we can just put it in between, so it sits where I want it to. But when only 2 cards are carrying the set, it's kind of hard to call it like anything better than that. You know what I mean? Like it's just
another one of those sets where the Pokemon in the set are amazing. The cards just don't do it for me.
They just don't do it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably between C and B, but I'm just going to leave it at C for now.
Okay. I like it.
Man, we're totally going to get canceled.
That's okay. You've been saying that for weeks. You keep saying it, and people keep unsubbing.
Yeah, well.
We lost 3 subs over these past 2 weeks.
All right. They're probably still hate watching. It's all good.
That's all right. Probably still hate watching. That's beautiful. All right. All right. I'm going to go with one. Let's do Unseen Forces. This set slaps. This is a great set, dude. Ampharos. Let's see. The Feraligator's badass looking. I love the Flareon, the Jolteon. The Sudowoodo, done by Komiya is great. It's got a pretty awesome Typhlosion in it as well. Just going down the list of Pokemon, though, like it's just a lot of fan favorites. There's Lugia in here. And then you scroll down and it's got the Gold Star dogs, which I know have like a mark against them, but the arts are great. I'm a big fan of them. It's got all the unknown Pokemon in it, which is super cool. A cool little set, like little thing they added to it. The Celebi EX is fantastic as well. Dude, it's such a good looking card. I'm such a big fan of that one. Let's see, Tyranitar EX, Umbreon EX. Let's see, not the biggest Politoed guy, but this Politoed artwork, for whatever reason, he's all angry and sticking his tongue out. Kind of a big fan of it.
I think I said it in a different episode or podcast where I was like, for some reason, every Politoed art just slaps. They're all good.
It's so good. We got Espeon EX, like, so I'm a big fan of this set. I wish the Gold Star dogs didn't get the treatment that they got, you know, being stolen and seeing however many.
You know what I like about the Gold Star dogs?
What's up?
How different all three of them are. Like, look at just the backgrounds.
Yeah, they're not very similar at all.
Which I like. They all have its own like theme to it.
Which is odd too, because it's all done by the same artist, and usually when they're done by the same artist, they all kind of have a same aesthetic. And we've seen that a couple times with some of the Gold Stars in here already.
I think the Steelix slaps.
Dude, the man's got a chin on him. Look at that.
The Crimson Chin, baby.
The Crimson Chin.
The Ho-Oh slaps.
Yeah, the T-Tar is not that great, but the Ho-Oh is great. And the Lugia EX, they did my boy dirty.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to say it anymore, but someone drew it and I didn't like it. But I'm going to give this set, I think I'm going to give this set a B.
Man, you talk it up that much and you give it a B.
I'll give it a B.
It's an easy A tier for me.
Okay.
Easy
if it had dittos in it, I'd be A all day. But no dittos.
No ditto.
No ditto. Dude, some of these cards are crazy though. Remoraid is just like, that looks like someone did a scrapbook. All right.
I like the Smeargle. Number 48.
Oh yeah, you know what? I do like that one as well. Well, so that's probably the same artist that did the Jirachi.
Probably.
Very similar. Very, very similar.
Sunkern as well. Probably the same artist. 76.
Let's see. 76. Yeah, same artist. So pretty wild. Yeah, so B. So that's second highest ranked one so far. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're halfway through the tier list.
Yeah, and I feel like I say it every tier list. Most of these sets are very good sets. Like, I would rank EX year sets probably all above like XY sets, right? But it's like we're ranking them in comparison to each other.
Each other, yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do Hidden Legends. This is one I need to remind myself of. So, okay. Dark Celebi,
14th, 2004.
Dark Celebi's kind of fire.
Dark Celebi's a great card.
Oh, man, there's a lot of mid up top, though. Jirachi's all right.
Jirachi's all right. Exploud, another Komiya.
Oh, they did Groudon Dirty again. It's got to be that artist, huh?
Oh, let me take a look. Oh, yeah, my goodness. Oh, this whole, terrible. Kyogre, Groudon.
So do the Reggies in the set have the cracked ice? I think they do, right?
They do. Yeah, the Reggies are cracked ice.
That elevates it a little bit, but it's also like
Another pretty cool Ninetales art as well.
yeah, Ninetales arts are
It-
just
yeah, they've been really, really good in these sets.
another weird one. I really like the Vileplume EX. Weirdly enough. Man, this might be the worst one.
This is rough. It's a
Yeah.
rough set. There's really not much.
I don't think it
the best
deserves Y, but I think that's D for me.
Dark Celebi is probably the best card in the set for sure.
Ninetales EX maybe for me.
And then the Ninetales EX as well. So
Oh man,
another
that
2-card set.
Ninetales is
Yeah, it's cool. Like he looks like he's walking through space. It's pretty awesome.
oh man, I need to buy that card.
So you said you're giving it a D?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think so.
Okay. I can agree with you there.
Yeah.
I can agree with you on D. Yeah, there's not much going for it. The Electrode's pretty cool. I like it because it's just like a candid Electrode photo. He's just art. He's just kind of in an arcade something.
We should do a tier list of just the EX cards one time because some of these arts like this set rate D, but that Ninetales EX is up there.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. That's a great idea. Because I mean,
There's
there's so
lot
many of them you could choose. Yeah, so we could do what we did like with the all art tier list and just like take all the crap out. So like that one unnamed artist, just take all those out, not even rank them. Oh man! All right, so Hidden Legends gets a D. All right, let's see. All right,
Are we gonna have an S tier?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not a big S tier giver. You know I'm not.
I know.
I'm really not a big S tier giver, but I'm gonna do this. Let's go Team Rocket Returns. All right. So
Dark Pokemon.
Dark Pokemon. Dark Hypno, awesome. Big fan of Dark Hypno. Dark Slow King, awesome. But I don't know. I guess I don't like Dark Pokemon as much as other people like Dark Pokemon. The gold stars in this set are Mudkip, Torchic, and Treecko. It's got a Charmeleon secret rare in it. It does have Rocket Scyther, which is actually a pretty cool card. Rocket Snorlax, I'm a fan of. I like the Rocket Zapdos as well, although maybe not as much as I originally thought I liked it. I don't know. This set really doesn't, and I know people love themselves some Team Rocket Returns. Like this is like the set for a lot of people. Maybe it's just because I wasn't around when it came out. I don't have any like, nostalgic ties to it or anything. The Dark Dragonite's a pretty cool card. I'll give that. That I like that. I like how he kind of looks like he's just like behind an explosion or the moon or something. But I'm gonna give this set I'm just gonna give it a C, dude. It really doesn't. The Dark Pokemon don't mean all that much to me. That's Cancel City for a lot of people, I know, but
I like the Magpie. I see. This is one of those sets where I feel like it's really hard to rate when you're looking at like photos on like PoKollector because like you don't see the holo, and a lot of these EX cards look so good in person. Like if you just like click on the Snorlax and like open up like eBay listings of it, it looks so good. But
I mean, so but it's just like the EX cards look so good just for the borders and everything about them just make them look so good.
I feel like
I can't say the arts in this set are better than the arts in other sets. So
see, here's my dilemma is I typically don't like that more like I don't know what to call it, like I don't know what that art style is of like that Zapdos and Mewtwo. I don't want to say like cartoony, but like
It almost looks like, well, so the Mewtwo is an Arita, but then the Moltres is a Udea. And they
No,
all,
but I'm specifically like referring to like the Zapdos, Mewtwo, Articuno, like that art style.
okay.
I typically don't like that, but for whatever reason in this set, I do like it.
Yeah, they almost, I get what you're saying. It's hard to explain what they actually look like. Like cartoony, almost CG-ish, almost.
Oh, I don't know where I want to put this. See, I like the dark Pokemon. I like the dark Dragonite. I have some of these cards, and they look really good. I don't like it at the same level as Fire Red Leaf Green, though. I'm stuck between A and B.
Okay.
Because if I put it on A tier, I like Fire Red Leaf Green a lot better, I think. So that by default means I probably can't put it in the same tier if I like it a lot better, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, so I'm going to put it in B tier. So if we could both get canceled. And you put it in what, C?
Yeah, so between B and C.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have an S tier.
All right.
Let's do Legend Maker.
Okay. Legend Maker. I think this has this set has the least amount of cards in the entire EX block.
I lied. These might be the worst gold stars. Yeah, I
You hate
found
gold
out today.
stars, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this is the Reggie gold stars.
I like the Regirock gold star better than the other two. And I really like the Mew EX too.
The secret Pikachu Delta species isn't that great. The Mew EX is great.
The Arcanine's pretty good.
Yeah, the Arcanine's cool. That looks like
Gengar just okay.
The Arcanine's done by that artist though, man. I don't know.
That
at least he doesn't look dark and you can actually see the Pokemon there.
This set's kind of mid.
It's a mid set. They got a Mew.
I like the Aerodactyl a lot, number 1.
Yeah, the Aerodactyl's pretty cool. This actually, dude, might be the worst set. This is a bad set.
Yeah, this one's tough.
I like the Magmar. It's a bad set. Number 21. Just going through it quickly again. The Haunter's pretty cool too. I like the Haunter, but we're just going after
this is
tell you what though, the Legend Maker Gengar pack art is pretty sweet if that's a pack art.
This is a D tier set.
I'm gonna give it a Y tier set.
Ooh.
This is bad. There's nothing legendary or legend making about this set at all.
It's just so tough because all these sets have like 2 or 3 cards that I just love, but the rest of it just so bad.
Yeah, this one's no bueno.
Why do people like the EX here so much? I thought this were like, I think people need to like the E series a little better. Because comparing this to the E series,
I would. So if the E series were in here, they would all be S compared to all of these. Again, like those 3 sets were, I think, some of the best artworks done by artists for Pokemon. They put their big boy pants on for those 3 sets. Yeah, wow, Legend Maker.
The lowest ranking one so far.
No, well, we got EX Sandstorm ranked the same.
Oh, that one's there as well. That's right.
You gave that one a Y. I gave that one a D, I think. Yeah. So we got some not great sets here. Which is, so you know what? Like, again, every day is a learning opportunity. So I've been learning about these sets. So I've been looking at them the past couple days and whatnot, and looking at them again now. People hold EX in like such high regard, and again, compared to a lot of what's come out, they're great, but a lot of the arts just aren't doing it for me. It's like you said, you get 1 off or 2 off great cards per set, and that is like the set identity for that set, and that's what people remember it for.
It's and I feel like the other part of the argument's like, oh, look at the reverse pattern. It's like, I think my hot take was the last episode or whatever with the Master Balls. Clearly, I'm not like the biggest reverse fan. Outside, like I think it kind of elevates Legendary Collection a little bit. But if that's going to be your argument, is like a reverse hollow pattern, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, it's dark. It's definitely dark. So yeah, unfortunately, this one got a Y from me. I'm sitting at between D and Y. All right, your pick, PoNGa. We're coming down to the nitty gritty, everyone. We got what, 5 sets to go? 6 sets. Emerald. I think you were talking crap on this set before.
This one's pretty dark.
Oh man, lots of Kyogre too. Well, because it's all the Rayquaza is a pretty cool Rayquaza. I like
Blaziken.
Blaziken's cool too.
Oh man, Kyogre 15. Yikes.
Oh, what is that? He looks like
That's
Sloth from the Goonies. Like what, a baby Ruth?
Look at number 38. I think we discovered something.
Dude, that Ninetales is fire.
Dude, every Ninetales art.
Every Ninetales art is great in this set.
I think I gotta sell everything I own and become a Ninetales collector.
Whoa. Old school, man. What are you doing?
No, old school is the no damage. That's it.
That's it.
What a mid card to collect.
I like the Pikachu, just the regular Pikachu we got in here. I don't know. This set is
the Milotic is really nice. But like Cacturn, Camera. Oh, what are we doing here? Metacham, the Reggies. Yikes.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and you're gonna get it again. I'm gonna say why to this one as well.
Look at the secret rare.
I know, and I also want to say why, because this is the biggest. It's far-fetched.
Yeah,
it's not even a good far-fetched art.
Yeah,
it's not even a Delta. It's, well, I don't know. Delta wasn't out yet. It's just not. I don't know, man. This is definitely
Altaria EX is the best card in the set.
Yeah, definitely. It just popped back.
Altaria S tier. The rest of the set Y.
But that's again. That seems to be a common thread with these sets. Is that like 1 or 2? Like I just said. I don't know, but the Ninetales, man, have been doing it. All right, so like I said, I'm putting this in Y. This one doesn't make sense, especially since it's the biggest. So there were 16 sets released before the EX era started, and these 16 sets, there were 16 sets in the EX era by itself, and I just feel like they put way too many sets out with too much mid in it. I don't know.
And a lot of the cards are like, they have a different EX or a different hollow that's like better. Like this set has like a Raichu that's better in another set.
Yeah.
Like the Reggie Gold Stars I think are better than the EXs.
Yeah, with the cracked ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Y as well.
Oh wow. Oof. Emerald taking a dump in its pants. not good.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right. Emerald's down. All right. I'm gonna go EX Dragon. So a couple more Komiya cards. I'm not a big fan of this set either. I
don't like just the strip on the bottom at all.
Yeah, well, so this is before they got rid of the EX or the E series completely.
What's Dragonair coming out of there? It's kind of sus.
We got another Rayquaza EX. I do like the Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard secret rares at the end of the set. They are pretty cool. I really do like that Charizard art. It's just a different take on it. You don't see him in that position. I mean, he's still shooting fire out of his face and whatnot, but I just like how it's like a top down. He's looking down. And the Charmeleon and Charmander arts are also very cool. But again, other than that, like what we got a
Dragonite's
Grumpig.
nice. I like Dragonite.
Yeah, the Dragonite's cool. Oh yeah, the
Ampharos I like too.
Dragonair is coming out of a cloud or something. But this set also just doesn't do it for me, man. I don't know. I feel like maybe Nintendo didn't know what they were doing the first couple sets. It's kind of, obvious that the first couple sets were some of the worst ones. So like I said, I'm not a big fan of this.
The reverses in these first couple sets are terrible too, where like the whole card's like kind of hollow besides the main picture.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's like it's almost like a sheen on the card. It's not even
Yeah.
like a real hollow.
They look
Yeah,
fake.
they look fake. They look like proxies just about. The Gyarados is good in this set. I do like that Gyarados. But again, oh man, like I'm gonna say it again. Like, why was this set even produced? Like it just doesn't do it for me, man. It really doesn't. I'm hating on some EX sets tonight. People are gonna be upset. And look, Latias and Latios just doing the
See,
same
I don't
thing
mind
again.
those as much because of the coloring, I think. The coloring makes it a little better.
And the worst card ever made in any Pokemon, hollow, non-hollow, reverse hollow, I don't care, is this Golem EX is complete and utter garbage. What a terrible looking card. I need you to click 91 out of 97. It is so bad.
I don't hate it.
You like that?
I didn't say I like it. I said I didn't hate
Hot
it.
take. Worst Pokemon card ever made.
I think that Kingdra might be the worst Pokemon card ever made.
Well, where is that? Oh, just down
Right
a little.
next to the 90 or
Oh,
92.
well, hint. It's the same artist.
Yeah.
So just so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, the Ampharos is nice. I like that.
This is a C for me, I think. I like the Charizard line. I like the Dragonite, I like the Rayquaza, and the Ampharos. So I think that's enough for me. There's like 5 or 6 cards I really like, rather than like 2 to 3 like the other sets.
I can. I know I said Y, but I'm not gonna give it a Y because I do like that Charizard set. The evolution line at the bottom.
Nah, you know what? It's D tier. I hate the bottom strip.
You really hate that, huh?
Yeah, it's.
I'm gonna give it a D as well. So I gotta figure out what set did they get rid of that. I should have written it down earlier.
But
it happens pretty quickly.
I think it's after Magma Aqua, maybe.
Hidden Legends.
What's after?
It's Hidden Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wish the E-Series cards are my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
I just absolutely love them. Oh, no. Magma and Aqua didn't have the E-Series thing either. So maybe it was EX Dragon was the last one.
No, Magma Aqua have it. I'm looking at it right in front of me.
Hold on. Well, then I'm just blind.
You are.
Oh, maybe I'm looking at something different than you are. What are you looking at?
EX Team Magma versus Team Aqua.
Oh, okay. The EXs are the E-Series card. Okay. All right. So a D. Another turd.
Yeah, I don't think I have an S tier.
I don't have an S tier.
Well, since we were just talking about it, let's do this set.
Okay, perfect.
Bulbasaur. Wait, where is it? Bulbasaur number 39, kind of fire.
I like that one.
Houndoom,
Sugamori.
number 10. Kyogre's not
terrible. That Houndoom, I really like that Houndoom.
Yeah.
That's a great card. Just looks like he's, standing inside of a freaking, like, Mountain Doom. That's where he's at. It's a pretty cool card. I like the Secret Jirachi. That's pretty dope.
I think I also really like Swampert as a Pokemon.
I like Quagsire too. All the Quagsire cards I've seen during this are actually pretty cool. Big fan of that. But their EX cards aren't that great. This Blaziken is terrible. Like I just
Is this another D tier?
yeah, so like Entei. I like the Entei card.
Raikou is
The
really nice. I
Raikou
like that one
cards.
in
The
person
Raiku's cool.
specifically.
Yeah, that's cool. It's got a like the coloring in the background is pretty cool.
It looks
Yeah,
really good in person.
the Suicune. I could leave her. I could leave that one on the table. I love the Squirtle with the cherry blossoms. I think that's a really cool looking card. But yeah,
What number is that?
that's number 46.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this another D. This is a
Yeah,
D tier,
I'm
man.
there with you. I don't know. No, this is no, it's D. I'm trying to find the positives, but I just can't. Uh-oh, I'm running out of space for D tier.
Gotta make them even smaller.
Dude, there's probably so many people that are like, how are they ranking all these D tier?
Oh, people are having
You
a
guys
heart
got to get
attack
your
right
eyes
now.
checked. That's what it is.
Well, listen, nostalgia is a strong drug, man. People open
Yeah,
these
but a
cards,
lot of
love this
people are
stuff.
not. I think people, hot take, people like the EX era more because of it's rare.
You're probably right.
All right, you want to do Crystal Guardians or Home Fence?
So let's do Crystal Guardians, and I just want to shout out the Green Shiz for this probably being the best Ditto card of all time. Just poking his head outside the next to the ocean, little sweat bead coming down.
What number is it?
That is number 50 of 100. It's great. Such a good card. But there's a lot of good, like there's some really good Bulbasaur arts in here. I think both of them are done very well. That's
It's
number
that
40.
style again. That's got to be that
Yeah,
artist,
it's
right?
the same artist. Yeah,
The Venusaur is fire.
Sumiyoshu Kazuki.
I think that's my favorite artist.
What? You have a favorite artist?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I like that style too. It's cartoony and it's fun. Like it's not taking itself too seriously.
It's got multiple Blastoise cards, Charizard, the EXs. Groudon's not terrible. Jirachi, Kyogre, I like Kyogre EX a lot. Celebi Gold Star, Alakazam Gold Star, both pretty good.
Yeah, I love the Alakazam.
And
Gold
Swampert's
Star.
pretty decent. The Swampert EX reminds me, it's got to be the same artist of the Rayquaza from, is it Dragon? Maybe.
Oh, let's see. So Ivysaur is done too. Same guy.
Yeah.
Sumiyoshi Kazuki. Yeah, so I do like those as well.
Yeah, that's my favorite artist. I just found that out.
Yeah, it does have multiple Blastoise in it. Yeah. Crystal Charizard. Big card. Where to rank though? I do it like you said, like this is one of those ones where it has a lot of like it's got a lot of good art in it. They're not necessarily like high price, high tier cards, but I just like how they're looking. I'll give Crystal Guardians a B because I also really love the Alakazam Gold Star. I'm a big fan of that Gold Star.
I'm there with you.
And our last tiered pick is going to be Home Phantoms.
Let's see. More Deoxys, man.
Tons of Deoxys, dude. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. I love the Gyarados in this set. That's a great card. Big fan of the Gyarados. The Kabutops is pretty cool too. Kabutops low key has a lot of really awesome cards throughout the years. The Pidgeot is awesome. I love how he's like the Lightning Bird is really cool. Like I like that. It's just a different little spin on him. Pretty sweet Mewtwo in there as well. Going down to the bottom, it's where you get this is like where it really hits is you get the Mew EX, which I'm a big fan of, the Mewtwo Gold Star, the Gyarados Delta Species Gold Star, and the Pikachu Gold Star.
And then the Mew at the bottom.
And then the Mew Secret done by Ken Sumori. Just that this is a great set. That Gold Star Gyarados, think is one of my favorite gold stars. I like the way it's done, the art style that it's done in is very I almost want to say like traditional Japanese. It's not, you know what I mean? It's just like got that cool dragon art style to it.
You know what it is? None of these EXs have that like stupid shadow.
Well, you know why? Because they didn't let that guy draw any EXs on this one. I don't even think he's in. No, he didn't draw any of the EXs. So he did so many EXs. He must have been owed a favor or something.
This is like a B or A for me, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this a B. This is a good set.
You said
Just
a B?
just can't beat those dittos for me. I'm telling you what. You know what? I take that back. I'm going to give this an A because of the gold stars it has. And the Mew EX and then the Mew. Yeah, this is an A tier set. There's a lot of good cards in here that are.
Yeah, I think it's up there for me too. I don't know if it's. I think I like. I don't. Did I rate Unseen Forces in A or did you rate it in A?
Oh man, I can't even remember now.
So I think Holland Phantoms is worse than Unseen Forces.
Okay.
I think Unseen Forces and Fire Red Leaf Green are my two favorite sets. And then I think it goes Holland Phantoms, Crystal Guardians, and Team Rocket Returns.
Yeah, I gave Unseen Forces a B.
Yeah, I think Unseen Forces is a better set, and I don't think it's actually. I might want Unseen Forces close to S tier.
Really?
Yeah, it's got. I'm just looking at it again, and
Well, the Flareon, Jolteon, the Fralligator.
I want everyone to know. I said this before we started recording that I feel like I'm going to go through these sets, and as we go through them, I'm going to be able to rank them compared to each other a little better. Because these sets have a lot of cards to look at. Like some of them have like 10 EXs, and it's just a lot to look at. But
actually, you know what? Look at the Poliwrath, the Pseudo Woodo.
Wait, what's that?
The Poliwrath is number 11. That's a pretty sweet Poliwrath,
dude. Well,
it's got the Politoed in it that I like. The gold star, but the rest of it, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna keep it where I had it.
All right, I raised it to S, I think.
Wow.
So it's hard for me because Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Unseen Forces, I think, are both worthy of S tier. But I'm gonna keep it where it is. I just couldn't let Unseen Forces be below Holland Phantoms. So
Fire Red, Leaf Green. Let's see. Looking at this one, I mean, it's the better 151, right? This is, if there's going to be an S tier, it's going to be Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Yeah, so I think it's not close. I think Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Unseen Forces are the two best sets.
Okay, well, I definitely will say that Fire Red, Leaf Green's a better set. I do,
and I'll go out there and say I think Gengar EX might be the best card in the entire EX series.
Where he's doing his little skipping.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great card.
Shout out to Shining Cards and Collectibles. He knows about that card.
And you have your Cracked Ice Legendary Birds. 2 Mr. Mime EXs, though. Yeah, no, it's a good set. Yeah, you can stick that up a little higher.
I'm doing Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Unseen Forces in S tier, so that's why I have it the way I do now.
All right. I like it, dude. I think this is a good, well-rounded list. I also think that, again, people are going to, like what they like and rank things the way they want to rank them. But when you're ranking stuff against their own era, you're not going to have that much of a leg up on each other. And it's either your cards are hitting or your cards aren't. So
I feel like if I did this tier list like 3 months from now, some of those like D tier, I might like rank like B or C. Like like I said, a lot of them have really, really, really awesome cards. I'm trying to, what set has the least amount of cards I dislike and the most cards I kind of like. Because some of the EXs are just so fire. Like And I think I found out that I'm not the biggest Gold Star fan today, but
Yeah, no, I don't think you like the gold stars at all that much.
I think once again, I think that's product of looking at them on the computer screen. EX's Gold Stars, like I said, I have the Gold Star right next to me up there. I have a Gold Star mud kit. So much better in person. So much better in person.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was EX era tier list.
That
Moving
was a
on.
fun one.
That was a fun one. I did enjoy that. I'm enjoying. So, like, obviously, it's hard to know. Like, I'm not a PK man. I can't just pull like set numbers and card numbers out of the top of my head and know what the card looks like and all that. So, it definitely helps having it brought up on screen and being able to see it and like go through like. And it's nice being able to like talk it out with you. And I feel like that's given us a very accurate tier list for us, at least. So,
I wish I said it at the beginning of the tier list. Anyone watching this, you should go pull up the set list and rewatch the tier list because it makes it so much better when you have the cards out in front of you.
yeah,
Rather than
absolutely.
trying to remember. Like I said, some of those sets have like 10, 12 EXs, and it's like there's like multiple EXs of the same Pokemon in different sets, and EX here is confusing.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Like I said, those first couple sets were not good. But I'm coming off the heels of what they came off of, though. It makes sense why. All right, we're moving on from tier list to beer pong. That we'll leave that little subliminal messaging alone for a second. Today's beer pong, we are going to do local card shows versus collecticons or big, large card shows. I think I'm going to take local shows, and PoNGa is going to take collecticons. And again, I'm going to defer to PoNGa to start it off.
Oh, this guy always punts. He makes me go first every single time. Yeah, so I think the big selling point of a big show is just the exposure. I mean, you have big content creators, big streamers all there. And so if you cater your inventory to fit those kind of people, you can make some very, very big sales and have some very, very good weekends. I think some of that's possible in local shows, but I mean, if you don't live like around a very populated area, like, and you do like a smaller type show, it's probably a little more rare that you'll have like that big buyout opportunity. I'm sure it happens. Obviously, like people like Cloud and all those people go to smaller shows as well. But yeah, I just like the extra exposure, the liquidity that comes with large shows. I've only vended 2 shows now. I think I'm planned to do 3 this year, and it's just there's so many people, and the stuff I'm shocked at the stuff that sells, like $25, $30 slabs all the way up to $500, $1,000 slabs just sell left and right. Bringing in binders, there's just so many different types of collectors. Yeah, so I think the basis and where I'll leave it as just like the exposure and the liquidity that comes with those larger card shows.
Okay. So local card shows. Went to one this past weekend. Had a hell of a time. It was
Biased.
a bias. Yeah, definitely biased. I think I do like the intimate feel of the local card show a little bit more. I feel like you can actually talk to your customers a little bit more. There's not people standing and hovering all the time around your booth, making it impossible to do that. I had some pretty cool interactions with kids that stopped by. He wanted me to look at a couple of cards. Some of them were fake. His parents were with them. I got to chat with them a little bit about the cards, gave him some card savers and a couple sleeves because all of his cards weren't sleeved at all. So,
Did you ruin his dreams and tell him they were fake?
I told him it was fake. Yes,
That's the right move.
That's the right. Well, it was clearly a fake card. He had a fake first edition Charizard, which he knew was fake. But then he pulled something else out. I was like, "Listen, my man, I'm sorry, but this is a fake card." And he goes, "How do you know?" And I explained to him. But that was nice. Shout out to Pokey Squire. He's not known in this group of people, but I vended next to him. I actually made quite a few deals with him this past weekend. And it was just happenstance of being vending next to him. What a great guy. There's a gentleman behind me who was doing sports only named Warren. Great guy. So I'm saying, like, it's fun for us to go to the big shows, all get together, sit down, have a great time all weekend, vend together and all that. But it's also nice to go out there and vend with not all those people as well, and like get to learn other, what other people are doing, what other people are selling. Because we do kind of live in our own bubble a little bit. So it's nice to get out of that bubble a little bit. Closer drive distance, another big selling point for me. It was an hour drive for me. I sold pretty well, sold over a K worth of stuff in Woodbridge, New Jersey. I didn't have a full table. And like I said, the trades were there. So I think the more intimate feel of the show was actually very nice and helped, because it was only the second time I vended. The first time was Charlotte Collecticon. That was the first time I ever vended. It also helps that I wasn't hung over so much at this show. Like, I was not hung over at all, so everything was okay. I didn't feel like I was going to die for 8 hours straight. But that day went, actually, like this past Saturday, went by so fast. I was surprised. Like, the show ended at 4. I was there at 8, and I left at 3 because it started to slow down. But that was after I gonna show everyone now, but I did a pretty big pickup the other day. I got a master set of Hidden Fates, so very happy with it. Obviously, it's just one page of it, but it's all the cards. I think the only card that wasn't in there was the Cracked Ice Legendary Birds, but you can get that for $10 somewhere else. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I don't know. I just like the opportunities. It wasn't overwhelming too. If you haven't been to a show, definitely try a smaller show first, just so you can kind of get your foot through the door and figure out what it's about, because Collecticons can be extremely overwhelming, especially if you don't know anyone and you're kind of flying blind. So that's my argument for local shows.
The other thing about large shows, and one thing I'm going to try to take advantage of a little more this year, is just the buying opportunities you have. And I'm talking still from like the vendor perspective. People bring some crazy stuff up to your table, and it's kind of luck of the draw because there's so many people there that someone needs to bring something cool. But like, I did it, the first time I vended with Charlotte, didn't do much trading, didn't do much buying. Houston last year, I did a lot of trading, and you're able to trade illiquid stuff for pure liquid gold.
Yep.
And there's just, the large shows have so much opportunity for trades and purchasing. And like I said, that's one thing I want to take advantage of this year, is like making sure I have cash on me, willing to buy, 70 to 80% of alt art, PSA 10s, raw alt arts, all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like that opportunity is a little bit higher. It's more likely in a big show, right? Because some people's main goals is just to bring inventory there and sell. I know several people that had backpacks full of binders and slabs, just literally going there not to buy, but just to sell to vendors.
Yeah.
And the other thing I really like is if you bring the right stuff priced well, shout out to Dan.
Point at your.
I have vendors come out and just buy out all my Japanese boxes and stuff like that, because they'll go bring them to their table and mark them up by $15. And my margins are already really, like Houston, I was doubling my money on some of the boxes, and just, I'm sure that vendor was upping them by another 40%.
Yeah, fire selling them out.
And so I guess what I'm trying to say is just the amount of money that's at those Collecticons or bigger shows is pretty insane. And then the other big show I'll kind of mention is I was at the National last year in Chicago, or Rosemont, where Collecticon in Chicago is going to be this year. It is nuts how much money people walk around with, just willing to just spend 5 to 6 figures worth of cash, like at any moment. And if you have the inventory, once again, you're not going to see that at a small show. So yeah, that's where I'll rest my case. I won. Thank you very much.
So I will say, to retort just a little bit, I made my first trade with another person, like Pokemon wise, at this show. I think I got a Gardevoir EX, one of the recent ones that just came out. I don't know what set it was, but it's a pretty card. And then that kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit for me. I then did a couple more trades with the guy, PokeSquire, next to me. Like I said, I had never traded before. I was always like afraid to trade. I didn't want to get fleeced in a trade. But I traded out of like a lot of stuff that would cost me more money to ship down. And then, you know what I mean? Like I was going to lose on margin just shipping it. So I traded into some of these EX era cards, CGC 10s and stuff like that, that I'm going to bring down there. That'll be just a little easier, hopefully, to move someone who's looking for them. I mean, they're a little more niche, but I think it's just for me to be able to put it in my backpack and fly it down instead of having to ship it to my mother or to whoever's down there to be able to bring it to me. I think just made more sense. So I'm definitely open to more trades now too. Like I feel like that's definitely viable for me going forward. I was just too new, didn't know, didn't want to get fleeced, was afraid to do trades and just be like, like everyone pointing at me like Nelson, like laughing. So I don't want any of that happening. So
it's one of the big uses of the vendor POV videos is like just seeing how other vendors navigate those kind of situations, trying to see how quickly they look up comps and what they use to look up comps. I mean, there's so many. I guess what I'll say is like when you're making those kind of trades, you got to make sure the prices you're looking up are as accurate as you could find. And no person that's trading with you, or they're most of the time not in a rush. You could take your time.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I definitely agree with that. We were looking up comps for some of the stuff during the trade. I traded a 151 ETB Pokemon Center case and a Precious Collector box. And then we came to a price on what everything was. And then I started going through his cards and we were looking up comps. And I was like, all right, this is low list on eBay, is this? And we did it that way. And we both did it and it worked out well. So, like I said, big shout out to him. You know, it's great being able to do something else that I haven't done in the hobby, now doing it. So,
yeah, now that I won the beer pong, I'll say that both places have it. Small shows and large shows both have its place.
Yes, absolutely. And I will continue to go to both. I had fun with both. So
I don't know. Old Card Shop, your Discord. Shout out to that Discord. He's got the
dude, they're nonstop.
Yeah, so there's so many shows. No one ever posts in the Midwest one.
No one posts in the Northeast one either. No one does it because there's not that. I mean, there's a lot of shows, but they're just all out there, man, crushing. Like Old Card Shop, I feel like he just does shows. That's all he does. Like every day is a show for him.
He's really smart, and I love, shout out Cardboard Hands. Go watch that podcast.
Yeah, great podcast.
That podcast with Retro, and it's must watch for me every single episode. I love it,
and they flip back and forth. So they do it on Old Card Shop's YouTube and Retro's YouTube.
Retros are usually live.
Yeah, so if you can't find one, it's probably on the other guy's YouTube. So just a shout out to those guys. Yeah, thanks for their awesome content. Moving on, we are going to go to rabbit holes. This week for our rabbit holes, PoNGa gave me a real stinking turd to look up. I'm going to go first this time so I can stop thinking about this horrible game. The game is called Cheetah Man 2 for the NES. It's a sequel to Cheetah Man, which was the 52nd and last game on the NES version of the game Action 52. So it was like in a 52 game like compilation, and it was the last one, and there's good reason for that because it's trash. It was being worked on in 1992. Only 6 of the 10 very intricate levels were made, and the game was canceled. They found it in a warehouse, 1,500 copies of it in 1996, and put it on sale on the secondary market. Its main protagonist or antagonist is Dr. Morbus, who creates an ape man to hunt down his failed Cheetah Man experiment. This is ridiculous. The Cheetah Men were named Ares, Apollo, and Hercules after the Greek gods. Enemies include tornadoes and gray dino subhumans. And the game normally ends after the 4th level, once the boss is beaten or just completely disappears from the screen, and then you're locked in the 4th level, and the only way to get out of it is to turn it off. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Cheetah Man 2, or Cheetah Men 2. I don't know. This might be even worse than the ET game that didn't even come out for the Atari. Like, I can't believe.
I don't know, man. Go look up the price of this game. It's pretty expensive.
So I did look up the price of this game earlier on eBay in like a 9.4 It was like $10,000 or some crazy shit like that. So
Yeah,
no
I think it's
reason.
like $1,500 loose, like just the game or something like that.
Well, only 1,500 copies. It's definitely a collector's item for whoever, was really into Cheetah Men back in the day, just like really grinded those first 4 levels out.
Yeah, I think
I
I
even think
mentioned it.
all the levels were the same too. They just took a few different things out. Like, it's really bad.
Gotta love the unlicensed games, baby. Yeah, I
Shovelware.
think I mentioned it in the last episode when I gave it to you, but I learned of this game in a Chase After the Right Price video where he had like a hour to hour and a half long collection bios, thousands and thousands of dollars of a collection. I think it might have been 6 figures even. And it was one of the games in there, and they like told the story about how it was found in the warehouse and all that stuff. So I thought it'd be definitely something you've never heard of. So
Look at this. Buy it now for $10,500. Cheetah Men 2, The Lost Levels. This
hey
is
man,
ridiculous.
you got to love those completionists that need every game.
Whew. All right, and PoNGa's hot take was on
Rabbit Hole,
Battletoads.
not hot take. Rabbit Hole.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rabbit Hole was Battletoads for the NES.
Yeah, so I'll start with a few facts and then go a little deeper. So it came out in June of '91. I have my notes in front of me, so give me a second as I scroll through them. So I guess it's considered like a beat 'em up, but it's more of like a side-scrolling platformer as well. So one of like the main parts of the game that's really interesting is it's like so many different genres all in one. Like there's like racing levels and all. It's pretty wild. And I actually watched a playthrough earlier today of like 4 or 5 of the 12 levels or whatever there is. So like I said, it was released in June '91, obviously for the NES. And some cool facts about it. It was actually developed in response to the interest of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So obviously back then and still today, TMNT is a huge franchise. And so this was kind of like a competitor to it. I think it won 7 awards in the Nintendo Power Awards in '91. So it was actually a very, very renowned game at the time. And I think the main fun fact about this is it's actually like known as probably being one of the hardest games ever made. And some will say kind of impossible to beat, which I think you alluded to in the last episode when you gave it to me.
Yeah, it's impossible. Well, impossible.
Yeah. So
For
I actually
normal
watched
people.
the playthrough I watched. It was funny, right when I clicked on the video earlier when I was doing some research, I texted you saying, wow, like you must be a terrible gamer because like this is like the easiest game ever. So this guy on YouTube did a playthrough in like 57 minutes and just completed it. And I was like, oh, like the first thing he says is like, yeah, it's known to be a hard game, but it's not that bad. So I was like, oh, what's Beerski talking about? The first level he starts playing, and like 5 seconds into the level, he like walks away from like a wall, and then this guy pops out and instantly would kill you if you were there. And so it was like, oh, so this is one of those games where you just have to memorize where every bad guy is, where every platform is, but like do it all based on memory. So it's one of those games where you have to learn as you go and just keep repeating the same part over and over and over to memorize. Because if you do not memorize the levels, you are not beating them. Like it is impossible, I'll say, to probably play it all the way through without having to start over. Yeah, so like I said, it's like known as being one of the hardest games ever. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, there was one part where people have speculated, and I don't know if like Rare kind of came out and said that this is why they've made it, but part of the reason it was made so difficult was to combat the rental game market. So if you can't beat a game renting it once, then you obviously either rent it again or actually just buy the game so you could keep replaying it. So that was a cool fun fact. But yeah, the whole premise of the game is to beat the Dark Queen, which you battle in the end of the game. Some of the gameplay mechanics I found pretty cool, and I'm kind of jumping around now, is the one thing I learned that you really have to master is you're like, if you double tap one way, you kind of do this like headbutting motion. And mastering the headbutting timing is like the key to beating the game and all the enemies. So Yeah, really cool game. Kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to genres, but a pretty cool beat 'em up side scroller platformer that is pretty well loved. That I, to be honest with you, didn't know much about.
Yeah, people. So that when I worked at GameStop, for whatever reason, for like a 2 or 3 month time period, there was a prank going around where they would call and ask if we had Battle Toads, and then they would like laugh and hang up. And this happened for a while, and then we started looking Battle Toads up and realized that it was just like this horrible game that you couldn't beat. And I think the hardest parts of the game were actually when you're on like it was a skateboard or a surfboard and you're hopping over logs, but like there's like some parts where just you physically impossible to get over a log. So you hop over and you just hit another log. So like you said, you have to learn like the little intricacies of the game to even
There's one level where you're
beat
like
it.
going through a course and it like is constantly changing directions, and there's this little ball that's chasing you. And if you don't time the up, down, left, right to switch directions on like the course perfectly, it catches up to you and kills you. And
Yeah.
so the other thing I didn't mention, the key to beating the game is to stack as many lives as you can up front, because especially when you get to the end of like the final boss, the Dark Queen, you can't dodge its attacks. So you just constantly keep dying over and over while you're just trying to mash as many hits as you can.
What
So
a great gameplay mechanic.
yeah. Yeah.
Can't dodge and you're just dying. That's
Yeah.
great.
But if you want to watch the whole gameplay, so like there's an hour, take an hour of your life, maybe go 1.5, 2x speed. It's a pretty good watch.
Um, and that's Rabbit Holes, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, well, not next week, in 2 weeks, in a fortnight, um, I'm gonna have PoNGa look up the 1998 Bandai Sealed Ass Stitch Touch series. Um, it's a cool little series. Actually picked up one of those this past weekend. I'm gonna show it off. It's the Pikachu and Clefairy. It's just an awesome little set. I didn't know much about it. Started looking up what it was, but these are just very cool cards. There's a whole bunch of them. They have a whole bunch of different. A lot of them have Pikachu on it. There's some with Squirtle, Charmander. So I just want to see, learn a little bit more about that. I know you don't know much about that either, so it'll be good for you to go down that hole.
Yeah, seen them here and there, but never really looked into it. So that's a really good one. I love that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to look into that one for sure.
Awesome.
All right. So mine for you is I had asked you if you knew anything about it. So fun fact, I'm really, really nostalgic about Yu-Gi-Oh! Even more so than Pokemon. So I loved so my age, I kind of, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like the early 2000s, and that's when I was like, 8, 9 years old. And so Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably more nostalgic to me than Pokemon at times. The TV show's fantastic. The cards battling with them, the games were just all so much fun. So my challenge to you is to what I refer to them as the Yu-Gi-Oh! GOAT sets. So look into the first couple, I think like 5 sets. Pick your favorite one out of them, and then talk about some of the cards in it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in learning about Yu-Gi-Oh. I know a lot of the people in the hobby that we hang out with and talk to and interact with are pretty big in the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Shout out to Green Shiz, baby.
Yeah, the Green Shiz, Pikachu, quite a few of them like deep into some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I know the Shiz purchased a pretty decent sized collection last year. Graded some pretty cool stuff. I know he graded a morphing jar as a 10, which he was really stoked about. So it's like that kind of stuff makes me interested, seeing people being interested about it. So yeah, it'll be cool to dip my toes in something other than Pokemon and Harry Potter. Right on. All right, so now we're actually going to hot takes, seeing as I messed up before. Hot take time. I'm going to go ahead and start this off. Beavis and Butthead Do America is the best animated movie of all time. I love it. I was a big Beavis and Butthead fan as a kid. Recently watching clips of it. My wife and I were talking about it the other day. And I stopped what I was doing. I started typing in our little like living, document that we have here about Beavis and Butthead. That movie was just hysterical, up, down, left, right. the desert scene where they're eating cactuses and stuff and start tripping and everything's going crazy. Love roller coaster, like the way they did the setting the scenes up and how they moved the camera in the scenes was something that you haven't seen much in animation up to that point. It was just a well done movie. The whole premise was ridiculous. They're trying to score. They get caught up in a whole bunch. They're smuggling, weapons of mass destruction, and they think they're going to get sluts, and it's slots, and there's old people saying how they're going to go do slots, and it's just so, like, the whole thing's outrageous. People get cavity searched. I love it. So like, it's like the tongue-in-cheek, like, cavity, I want you to reach to the back of his molars. Like, some of the stuff they say is great. So
sounds like we're gonna have to watch it in Orlando at the Airbnb, because I don't think I've ever seen it.
You've never seen
I don't know.
Do America? PoNGa.
I remember watching Beavis and Butthead and finding it hilarious. I don't know if it's one of those things where I've seen it and I just don't remember. Like I was young or only saw it like one time. But yeah, I don't remember it.
Oh man. All right. So we are rooming together in Orlando, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bring that down, or we'll rent it or whatever. But that's a movie that needs to be watched.
I'm sure it sounds like some service that you could probably rent for like
that sounds like a Thursday night movie to me. Is what that sounds like.
Yeah, I'm gonna land. We're gonna have a couple beers and watch the movie.
Watch the movie. That's great. So yeah, Beavis and Butthead Do America, best animated movie of all time. If you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's well worth your time.
All right, so mine is Call of Duty World at War is the best Call of Duty of all time. So
you've only been talking about this for the past 5 episodes, so it's about time we get down to it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do a Call of Duty tier list soon, maybe next week or next episode.
I like it.
Yeah, so this is a weird one. I think more people like it now than they did back then. So I always look at things, and I've said it probably in half the episodes, that I always look at Call of Duties from the competitive perspective because I'm a huge competitive Call of Duty guy. And a lot of the pros at the time didn't even play this game. They stayed on Call of Duty 4. And then like even a lot of my friends stayed on Call of Duty 4 during World at War's release. So when World at War came out, I was playing on PlayStation, eventually transitioned over Xbox. Man, I don't know. 50 days playtime, something crazy. I remember
Treyarch game, right?
Yeah, of course. Treyarch makes the best Call of Duty is another hot take.
What?
Not even close either.
What?
Not even close.
Better than Infinity Ward?
Infinity Ward's so.
You can honestly say Infinity Ward I don't know, man. That's like the hottest fucking take. That's so hot.
Yeah, wow. So Treyarch games, like when you were better than someone, they are not killing you. Like the Black Ops games, World at War, like I remember like World at War, we were big headquarters players, and we used to play in like headquarters tournaments and all this stuff, me and my friends and a bunch of people I met online. I mean, dude, I was dropping 100 kills on every map, dome, courtyard, cliffside, all those maps, man. The MP40 dual mags, you normally have, you have to have steady aim. You have to have stopping power, the bouncing betties maybe. And then if you want to get a little cheeky out there, you put some Juggernaut on to make some people mad. But the Thompson, the M1A1, the Springfield Sniper, oh, man. The Car 98. Oh, man.
So I'm a big war. Like, I love is a weird way to say it.
You could drive around the tanks, which is the most annoying thing in the whole world. But if you're in a lobby with really bad players, just go on like 30 kill streaks with the tank.
Oh, I think I know what my hot take's going to be next week.
Okay, save it. Yeah, but
I'm going to.
So yeah, at the time, I think World at War was really looked down upon. I think probably a little more people, few more people like it today, but I think it's a lot of the nostalgia speaking. But man, it's S tier for me, and it is not even close. It's skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff ruined Call of Duty. I miss the times where I could go in a lobby, go 105, and there's nothing anyone could do about it.
Yeah, and just smoke people. Definitely.
I think my KD in that game was a 3.86.
Wow. What was your damage?
Probably more than yours. I'll tell you
Son
that.
of a bitch. Oh man, yeah. So I'm a big World War II buff. So like being able to use those weapons in the game's always been cool. I really enjoyed the original Call of Duty for that reason. Buku Manor, or whatever it is, the Manor map on the first one, just like hiding in mortar trenches with the M1 and just one tapping people in the head was great. So I do get that. I had a lot of fun with World at War as well. That was the Call of Duty that actually got me back into Call of Duties again. I started playing on a PlayStation as well. My buddy bought a PlayStation because that's what I was playing at the time when we started like reconnected and started playing games and stuff together again. So yeah, I like them. I can't say Treyarch's better than Infinity Ward, but that's okay.
All right. Well, I think we found our next beer pong for next
Infinity
time.
Ward ended up, a lot of them broke off and made aren't they the Apex guys?
Was it Titanfall?
Yeah, Titanfall, which is Apex. Yeah. So I know a lot of them broke off and did that. All right. Well, next week will be good full of hot, or 2 weeks now, really good hot takes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last and most important segment of them all. Who's that Pokemon?
Oh, I'm nervous about this one.
We didn't.
I'm due for getting some hard ones.
Let's see. We're only doing Gen 4. So Gen 1 through 4. We're not going to add any more generations this time. 2 weeks from now, we'll add 5, I think.
Yeah.
Let me share this screen. All right, dude.
Bronzor.
I didn't say you could go first. Bronzer.
I went first.
See, I did it.
No, this one's yours.
Parasect.
Oh, that's an easy one, man. Slugma. Wurmple.
Oh,
why did I say
PoNGa got one wrong.
No. Why did I say that?
Yes.
That doesn't even look like Slugma. Why did that come to my head? You know what it was? What's the set with the Slugma that's like looking at you like this in the card? You know what I'm talking about? It's like close up on its face.
Oh,
I was looking at that earlier and I don't know.
Oh, it was EX.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man. Ooh.
Oh, that's so good. Actually, this just made my whole night. I'm so glad you missed it. Espeon? So hard.
That was such an easy one, too.
Oh, Jesus.
Pikachu.
You're wrong again. You're terrible at this.
I think that's the first one I got wrong.
Sentry? That is the first one you got wrong.
I gotta take my time. Arbok. Oh, I can't believe I got Wurmple wrong. That's such an easy one.
Oh no. Oh, I always forget. I can see the
Let me know when I can answer. We're doing a whole shout out episode, so I'm gonna do a shout out as I answer this one.
You can answer.
Shout out Leonhard. Natu, how do you do?
That's it.
Oh man,
this makes me so happy. If you get this
it's
wrong,
the middle evolution of Torterra, right? It starts with I'm not gonna get it. I think does it start with a G?
I don't know. Because I don't know what Pokemon is.
It's Torterra, right? Am I thinking of that one right?
Do you want me to click it?
No, the G middle evolution's the Sceptile one, isn't it? Oh, these grass starters, man. Yeah, you could click it. I'm not gonna get it.
Oh, I love hearing that. I can't wait to.
It is G. I knew it.
Oh, what the hell is that? Oh man, I don't know. Oh, Swellow.
I knew that one. You didn't even give me a chance.
All right, one more each.
Sunkern.
I just threw my pen in anger. Can't give me a Charizard. Oh man.
I got it.
I can see his stupid face too. I'm so bad with these names, dude. He's that little fat short guy with the squinty eyes. Ah, what's his name, PoNGa? Who's that
Makuhita.
Pokemon? Oh, yeah, see. Fat little guy with the squinty eyes. There you go. Oh, Entei. I know that one. Hey, I'm better than
done.
you.
You said one more each, and he
We're
gets
better.
an easy
I'm better
one.
than you. I got more than you.
Oh man, I'm gonna get roasted. Wurmple was such an easy one.
I'm glad you missed it.
You know what?
Sweet.
That's another hot
Satisfying
take. All
feeling.
those Wurmple, Caterpie, worst Pokemon. Worst Pokemon.
Weedle, Metapod.
Metapod's sick.
Oh. Well, how are they the worst Pokemon?
No, just Weedle and Wurmple.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone who's watched, subscribed, and did not unsubscribe. Thank you. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done any of those things, if you can go down to the bottom, like, subscribe, hit the bell, that would be fantastic. I'd be very happy for you to do that. Yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Love doing this every week. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions down below, please put them down below. Yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks. A fortnight from now.
Yeah, fortnight from now. Last episode before
Orlando, baby. That's it. Very excited, dude. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So the next episode, I think we're gonna talk a little bit more Collecticon. Maybe we'll make like a little segment for that. But yeah, until next time, everyone. Have yourselves a good night, safe week. Have a good Friday.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.